Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to episode 8 of the League 2 Hour. In a week where we had our first managerial casualty, the Bees were buzzing, Gills became history makers, and the Magpies and the Saddlers were both foursome. We are back for another action-packed show with me and my triple award nominated mate Lee from around the ground. So big round of applause for Lee from everybody as well. Show him some love. He's up for Best Content Creator, Best Non-League, and Best in Video at this year's FCAs. So I'll try and remember to put the link in the description at the bottom of the video. Please go and vote for Lee because he thoroughly deserves it. Absolutely brilliant stuff that he does for all the lower leagues. Anyway, mate, how are you? I suppose you're all right today, aren't you?
Yeah, good day. It's always cheers you up when you get 3 nominations. Still in shock, but yeah, it's I just can't believe that we're on episode 8 of this show. Unbelievable. It's just like
going
time
from strength to strength as well, which is really good. And like we've said, that's not us. That's people that want to come and watch. And there's 21 people already watching, mate, which is really, really good. So we'll do a few comments and then we'll get stuck into the action. First one is from DFT Lewis. It says, looking forward to this. That's the first one I'm able to catch live. Up Gareth Ainsworth's record-breaking Gills. Welcome to the chat, buddy. And yes, no need to ask who you support. We've got greetings to footy fans everywhere from Vancouver, Canada, up the chills as well from Hutch. Alan, I think I've just twigged who Hutch is. I'm sure he is a man who's been emailing me from the other side of the world. So welcome to the chat, buddy, again. And we've got, sorry, I'm not going to make any apologies for this being Gills top heavy at the beginning because we did break history at the weekend. 21 undefeated playing football the Ainsworth ways. Craig Adams, welcome to the chat. Andy Byrne said, who else was there in 73, 74? Wasn't even born in 73, 74. Sorry, mate. Lee will say it. You know we will. And I'll agree with him. Please smash that like button. As Snowman says, every evening, gents, finally made it to the live broadcast. Welcome, buddy. Great job, you two. The League 2 Hour. And congrats to Lee for 3 nominations at the FCA's. Get voting. Absolutely. Do what Daz says. The very happy Oldham Athletic fan in the chat. Welcome back, Dom. He says, evening, gents. And of course, the little legend that is Finley says, hello, Lee. I said hello.
How we doing, mate? What about Matt?
Yeah. You're talking to the award nominees now. You'll talk to me next year, hopefully. We've got Dennis Millams back in the chat. Evening, Dennis. Good evening, Matt and Lee, from a very happy Gills fan. And last couple, Nick Castleton says, just remind everyone that Gills is now a record-breaking team, as always, up for Gills. And we've got the main man as well. Sydney Longley is in the chat. Evening, lads. Evening, Sid. Hope you're good, buddy. Hope you've got Guinness on the go. Lee, you're first up tonight, mate. Your first game was, and this was before we knew what happened in the aftermath of the final whistle, Cheltenham Town 0, Oldham Athletic 3, goals from Will Sutton on 38 minutes, Luke Hannon penalty in 75 minutes, and Joe Quigley in injury time. Still the points for the Latics, 3 on the bounce. And that was the end of the road for Michael Flynn. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, Oldham, like you said, 3 from 3 now. The Latics are on the march. Cheltenham's worst start in a League 2 campaign, and that was the end for Michael Flynn. They parted ways after this result. Oldham opened the scoring. First off, strike, Will Sutton. It popped out to him, decent strike. It found the net. Oldham deserved leave going into half time, and then Oldham's second come from the spot. Hannon tucks away, neat penalty, confident, and yeah, they're only one winner from there. And then Joe Quigley wraps it up. 3 points, a good win for the Latics, and like you said, Cheltenham, poor start. The writing you felt was on the wall for Michael Flynn. And 3 days later, I didn't know about this. Gary Johnson had left the football club as director of football, which we've said on this show and numerous times that if the structure's not right behind the scenes on the pitch, it can affect. So we don't know what sort of effect it has had on the team, but yeah, it's been a poor start. Obviously, 15th, I think Cheltenham finished last season, and this season it's been an horrific start. So Michael Flynn, I think it was just a matter of time. But Oldham cruising now up to 11th, and it's no coincidence that the boy Pett is back in the team. We've said this a few weeks back. He's third game back, and they've won 3. I think he makes a massive difference. Dom, I'm interested to see on looking at the lineups. It look like they've got him on the right hand side of midfield. Is that how he plays, or do they mix it up with a 3 in midfield, different formation? Because you can never tell sometimes with a Sky
Yeah,
Sport.
I looked at that and it's got it as that on what I look as well. I was wondering if it was the 3 in midfield and then Hannant sort of in behind that front. So it made more sense to me because Hannant was at the forefront of everything. I think he hit a post as well, didn't he? He had created a couple of chances. He certainly deserved his goal. It's amazing what signing a competent striker does, isn't it? Because the rest of them have all gone, oh, we need to start performing now. Mellon hit the post as well. So this 3-0 could have been even more. And Cheltenham, like you say, really, really bad. Conceded 17 already in 9 games. They just look a really poor team on paper as well, and that's unfortunately for their fans translating onto the pitch. But it'd be interesting to see where they get in.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. They made a statement, I think, a couple of hours ago. Obviously, results aren't.
Oh yeah, I read that. It didn't mean anything. It just said he's gone. Wishing him all the best to get behind the team. I was like, well, that was pointless.
I was thinking it was going to be something sinister that's happened or something, but it's basically just it was just a nothing statement. Obviously, I had to have a look because obviously I'm covering the game for this show tonight, so I had a little peek. But yeah, it was just a nothing statement, really. But yeah, it's an appointment they need to get right now. Obviously, it's been a shocking start for them. And like I said, finishing 15th, they look like they're always going one way, if I'm honest. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. That is for sure. Because the appointment has to be right, because otherwise they'll be staring National League in the face. That is for sure. Oldham, actually, the best XG, I believe, in all the divisions over the weekend. I saw that stat.
Very nice, yeah. And I'm glad we played them 4 games ago, because since then they've scored 5, haven't conceded a goal, and they've won a lot. So, yeah, Mickey Mellon's really getting it together there, and it's amazing just what one signing can do and a win for the whole mood, isn't it? Because they look a completely different side now. Like you say, Pett back in the middle of the park, running things. Wright and Woods, we said, would be a good play. You get them 2 in tandem, I think they're going to be they're going to be hard to beat. 100%, because I think they've got the best defensive record in the division. I'm sure I was looking earlier. I think they've only conceded 5 all season.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that. Yeah, and then us on 6 is the second best. So yeah, keep goals going at the other end. They're going to have a really good season.
Yeah. We've said that the mid-table prediction, I think we both agreed on that, would be a good season, but results are going. You sort of do Oldham fans start to get a little bit giddy. Obviously, they'll assess things, I think, come what January and see where they're at. But I think if they're within touching distance, I think they're going to have a little dabble. I think the owner will taste blood at another promotion. So why not? But it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep it up. Like you say, if you keep it shut at the back door and you score goals, you're likely to win football matches.
Their next 3 at home, just quickly before we move on to the next game, are Barnet, Barrow and Shrewsbury. You'd fancy in all of them. And then their away trips in that period, right up to the sort of first weekend of games in November, trips to Harrogate, Salford and Notts County. So they can pick up a couple of draws on the road and win a couple of them home games. They're going to be in a really good position, because you back them against anyone at the moment, because they look a threat, like you say, and they're not conceding many at the other end. Yeah,
and the XG, actually, against you guys, they created the chances. They couldn't put it in, and obviously they're creating chances. But now the different players are chipping in with goals. So it's like
that's Mellon, Fondop, and Quigley have all now scored in the last 3 games, haven't they? So so they're all starting to chip in, like you say, and then with the people coming back as well, and they've got really experienced centre halves, and I think
It's like they heard what we said and just thought, yeah, we better put the ball in the onion bag.
It's not rocket science, in fairness to us. It's a low bar
Yeah.
in terms of coaching manuals, but we'll take it.
Yeah,
Right, let's do a few more comments.
It's a Mike Bassett quote, that, isn't it?
4-4-2, just in case there's any under 18s watch. We're up to 45 in the chat all of a sudden, which is really good. So welcome to all the new people. Come and give your comments. If we have got any Cheltenham fans in the chat, I'd be really interested just to hear your views on it. Sorry to make you talk about it because I know it's not fun, but yeah, it would be nice to get a Cheltenham viewpoint. Andy Burns says, congratulations, Lee. Many more nominations coming to this channel, I'm sure. Fingers crossed, Andy, hopefully. Maybe we'll be up for some sort of decent podcast in a year's time. David Ongley missed the show last week. Happy to be back. Welcome back, David. Paul Keister said, I was there in 1974. Is it time for those who gave Hesse dog abuse for recruitment to apologise and eat their words? We're 9 games in, Paul. Let's see where we are in January. It's a very encouraging start, I'd say. And I think we just have to enjoy it for what it is at the moment rather than pointing fingers at who said what and who said this a few months ago. Let's enjoy it for where we are and the here and now and that type of thing. Gills Our Best says, Brian Moore stand is open on Saturday. Yeah, Gills are doing a deal. Once my mouse carries on working, there we go. Opening the bottom tier of the open-ended stand for £5 a ticket at the weekend to try and get us over 8k in terms of attendance, which I think is a great touch and good reward for these players that deserve our support at the moment. Aaron, the Grimsby fan is back. Evening, buddy. Win in the League Cup and don't even turn up on Saturday. Just give us a big boy away, make some money and get knocked out because clearly they can't play twice a week. That's back-to-back defeats after League Cup victories, isn't it? Beat Man United, lost the weekend after, knocked Sheffield Wednesday out, got spanked by Barnet, which we'll get to in a little while. But yeah, interesting to see how David Artell fixes that if the cup run does continue. Dom sounds like he had a decent weekend. Very happy indeed, but still on the mend from Saturday. Dom did send me a video on X on a train or a bus carriage, and it was fairly lively, I think we'll call it.
That was the old booze bus.
The boot, yeah, well, yeah. Even if it wasn't, it certainly turned into that from the footage I got sent. So fair play to everyone. I hope they had a good time. Hutch is back, says Andy. I was there in 73, 74 and bunk school that season for an away game at Posh. Matt, your Vancouver sleuthing is good. David, I have just replied to your email, so thank you very much. Enjoying like old school pen pal type stuff. I love this.
Yeah,
It doesn't take 4 weeks to get across the pond. Right, we shall hide that comment, and then we'll do my first game of the weekend, which was Salford City 3, Swindon 2, and it was hard to pick this week. There were a few belters in this division over the weekend. It was George Grant who got things going for the Ammies on 4 minutes. Kadeem Harris put them 2 up after 15, but then Swindon came storming back in the second half after what I think was a tweak in formation, or certainly personnel. Aaron Drynan and Jamie Knight-Labelle on 54 and 83 minutes, respectively, before Callum Ceesay won it in injury time in front of none other than Sir David Beckham.
I know.
Who was in the stands. But yeah, we've got to talk about George Grant's outrageous opener. And I think we might talk about that later in the show in some sort of capacity. Chest the ball down 30 yards out. It's howling a wind. And just absolutely levers a dipping volley over the top of Connor Ripley into the back of the net. Absolutely superb goal to get things rolling. Dan Udo was involved in the second, I think, and it was a good finish from Kadeem Harris. And at that point, we thought that Carl Robinson's men were probably going to run away with it. But we know this Swindon team has goals and has chances in it. I asked Fifey in our WhatsApp chat about this one, Lee, because Darren Oldacre and Tom Nichols were both taken out of the team from the off on that one. And I thought they'd been 2 players that have been really good this season for Ian Holloway's men. And he said, yeah, he thinks Holloway got it wrong. But I think it was Nichols was introduced at half time. Felt to me like Swindon felt they had to get Ollie Palmer in the starting 11, and maybe at the sort of expense of sticking to what had been serving them so well. But Drynan got them back in it with a good goal again. It's up to 7, I think, for the season. Yeah, and then 7 minutes from the end, it looked like Knight-Labelle had rescued a point, bundled one over after an in-swinging corner. But no, Carl Robinson's men were not to be denied in front of football royalty. And like I say, it was a tap-in for Ceesay right at the end after Connor Ripley had kept out Jay Bird's header. Huge win for Salford, isn't that, mate? Because that was a big test. Means they leapfrog Swindon in the table. We keep saying with each passing week that they look more of a threat, don't they?
Yeah, and I think you have to take them serious after that result. Like I say, it's. I know it's early doors, but it's the acid test, and they've come through it. The players like Kadeem Harris, I think he's interesting me because obviously on Wednesdays he had a spell at Carlisle that didn't go amazing. He's been abroad in between, but yeah, he seems to found his legs, found his form, and he's creating chances and scoring goals. But yeah, I think you have to take Salford seriously, especially with football royalty sat in the stands. Sir David Beckham, absolute legend. But Salford, yeah, I think that this season they mean business, definitely.
Yeah, and they've scored 3 in each of their last 3 games as well. So they're a real threat going forward. And like you say, they've got loads of options. Udo looks a really good addition. We have to remember that Kadeem Harris is keeping Kelly and Mai out of the squad, let alone the starting 11 at the moment. And I thought at the beginning of the summer, Mai was off to League One. So you get him back fit and firing as well. And that's another really good option. They seem to be getting the best out of Ben Woodman, who was really highly rated as a kid. Seems to be actually just needs somewhere to settle, I think. And it seems that Salford might be the place for him to thrive. Swindon, nothing to worry about, no. Maybe Holloway learns from not changing it when it doesn't need changing. They're still fourth, and they've still had a good start. They've only lost 3 games all season.
Strange one if he's trying to put players in when he don't really need to. Don't change things that aren't broken. It's the old statement. Just leave it. The time will come where Palmer will get his chance. Obviously, form dips up and down the season, but yeah, I think it's a silly move to change it. Obviously, it's cost them. But yeah, I'm not worried about Swindon. I think this season, a lot like Salford, I think they can be taken serious in this division.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think they score too many goals to not be a problem for a lot of teams. Right, let's do some more comments. Oh, yes, I do need to read this out. Someone has alluded to it. I did see it on social media, Lee. This is just going back to the Cheltenham game. Flynn saying that it was the worst team he'd ever managed live on the radio. It was crazy. I caught a little bit of this. That doesn't help anyone at all.
So at what point did he say that? Was that prior?
It was after the game, I think he come out and just said something along the lines of they don't try, they don't care, they're not very good.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility to make them better. Surely, I get budgets and that type of thing govern things, but you knew what deck of cards you were getting when you took the job, surely.
Yeah, but that's a cry for sack me.
Yeah, that just nailing your own coffin down, isn't it? I'm not being funny. Right, we've got Dom's just back on what you asked. Tell you what, lads, some midfield in Conlon, Woods, Pett and Hannon, yeah, and all starting to perform really well. Daniels not put a foot wrong so far as well. Was it Daniels that was bandaged heavily, I saw in the second half as well?
Yeah,
it was either him or Month. Gave me Paul Ince England vibes from back in the 90s, I think, when he had the old bandage on. And just another one from Dom says Pett does seem to be on the right, but drifts central where he's best suited, but it's working. Mellon has made us hard to beat and stats prove it best defence in the league so far. Yeah, that's what we've already said, isn't it? Keep the goals coming, improve that goals for column, and you start accelerating up that table really, really quickly. Right, who else have we got in the chat? Up to 41 still, which is really good. Luca talks. Don says evening to Luca.
Evening.
0 F's given by Flynn. Yeah, it seems he wasn't actually that bothered. And like Lee said, it certainly wasn't a shout to keep me in employment, was it?
No, most definitely not.
Luca says, what's happened to us? As me, the main MK Dons vlogger, Saturday we lost again. MK Dons, do you think 1 point in 12 is not good because this MK side that we should be challenging? Yeah, they've got issues. And I think it was one of the bullet points when we advertised this show that warning signs, obviously play on words, but what do we think on MK at the moment, mate? They've hit a wall, haven't they? Which is a bit concerning if we just get their stats up.
Yeah,
like we keep saying, we thought they'd take a while to get going and then improve, but it seems they started all right and they're rapidly falling off the edge of a cliff at the moment, which is worrying, isn't it? They've dropped to 14th. And if you look at their recent form, back-to-back, it's 3 defeats in 4, yeah. Lost to Walsall, Grimsby, and Accrington, and only picked up a point against Chesterfield. In their last 4 games. drew with Crawley as well, middle of August. So he
My,
won't get
my
long, really, I don't think. We spoke about this last week. I don't think Warren gets long because of the fact that, just
no.
purely on what we said on the last episode, they spent so much money.
Yeah, and that's my concern for MK. If I'm an MK fan, I've heard this from a Bolton fan with likes of Collins. That's why obviously the money come in for him, but they weren't asked about losing him because he wasn't playing for the shirt type thing. This is my concern with MK. Have they got too many big hitters, big money men that are not willing to put a shift in for the badge? Yeah, you can have the best glamour team, but it don't matter if you've not got a 11 or a squad that aren't willing to pull together to get results. Does not matter. Wages, it don't matter. League Two is one of them divisions that you all need to pull in the right direction. And if it's obviously, I think money wise, they're all going to be on different sort of wages. Don't imagine Collins is on a low wage compared to
Collins
some of.
Injured again, to interrupt. Sorry, I'm sure I read somewhere that he's done an hamstring again.
Oh, is it? I don't
Luca
know.
might be able to let us know, but I'm sure, unless I've dreamt it, and I hope I'm not dreaming about MK Dons because that'd just be quite weird. But I'm sure, yeah, I read somewhere that he's basically re-aggravated the injury that he just come back from.
Yeah, so that's not good news then. But yeah, I'd be worried if I'm an MK. I know we say game time, but how long do you actually give them? That you need to start seeing signs that these signings that they warrant being brought in for the money they have being brought in for.
Absolutely, yeah. And at the moment, it's going very much the wrong way. I don't know if Jonathan's in the chat. Jonathan is always the voice of reason when it comes to MK Dons, but I think he said in our WhatsApp group the other day, he said that was a very disappointing performance and result. So if it's Jonathan saying it's bad, then it's definitely bad. Right, do a couple more comments, Lee, and then we'll get to your second feature game of the weekend. Greg the Fish, evening. Glad to be able to catch this live for once. Evening, buddy. Troy Chapman says, Soz late, still been watching the Gills all over again after a cracking day. I think we have, mate. Even I watched my match day live back this week and it was thoroughly enjoyable. Do apologise for the language for the second goal, but it's been a long time since Gills scored a goal like that Johnny Smith one. So, sorry, not sorry. Gary is back. We need to start making yellow cards, don't we? That's 2 tonight that were late. So, yeah, Gary's getting an imaginary yellow card. There you go. If I put my hand under that yellow Jill shirt, it looks like a yellow card.
Yeah.
So I'm late, just getting my dinner sorted. I presume no mentions of the unbeaten run. No, we ain't mentioned it yet, mate. Not just under 100. Under 100 times. 21, 20. Yeah, I'll stop because I can't sing. No one needs that. And we're nearly at 50 on the chat, so we don't want to lose them.
Yeah.
MK fans mocking the number of Accrington Stanley travelling away fans was quite funny, given the empty homes. Yeah, you're not in a position to be doing that when you've got a 30,000 all-seater stadium and you basically get a row to yourself. That's not clever. Sidder's put, sorry, lads, I'm just chilling and listening. It's the way to be, mate. That's how you got to do it. And he says, MK Don shouldn't have sacked Graham Alexander. Don't agree with that. That was never the right fit for me. In terms of what MK Dons wanted to be at the time, which was a passing side, Graham Alexander's teams, and you've watched Bradford a lot, they're not a passing side. They go back to front quickly and then they do from there really well. But I don't think Alexander was ever the right appointment for MK Dons personally.
But also, Bradford wouldn't have probably had Alexander if he'd not.
Yeah, see, shut up. You wouldn't be in League One. Got another Oldham fan. OAFC Callum is in the chat. Welcome, buddy. Oldham going up. Long way to go, but certainly going the right way. Daz Snowman says it was a... Yeah, it was. It was something like that, mate. Yeah, people can work out that was. Is that freaking?
Freaking.
Gary says he'll accept the yellow card. He gets loads of them from the missus. And Greg the Fish says, if Johnny Smith's goal isn't our goal of the season, I will be amazed. Yeah, I'm trying not to give too much away in terms of potential top 3 this week, but it was bloody good. Right, Lee, your second feature game of the weekend was Cambridge United 2, Fleetwood Town 1. Jordan Davies opened the scoring for the Cod Army on 62 minutes, but just 7 minutes later they were behind. Goals from Adam Mayer and Shane Lavery turned it round for Neil Harris's men, and they ended up taking the points.
Yeah, crazy little 10-minute spell of goals. Obviously, Fleetwood going 1-0 up. Like I say, crazy little period of 10 goals. I think you the old saying, you wait for a bus, but this is three come along at once. But yeah, we're tidy finish from Davis, but then 5 minutes later, Cambridge draw level through it was quite a scrappy goal from Mayer, and then literally 2 minutes later, the winner comes from Lavery to give Cambridge all 3 points. And now Cambridge up to 9th, Fleetwood 15th. Fleetwood fans, is a reason to be concerned. After a decent start to the season, they seem to have tailed off a little bit now. I think this is the 3rd game without a win, maybe. But yeah, Cambridge up to 9th. Do we see both as contenders in promotion? Not 100% sure. I think out of the two, probably steer towards Cambridge, if I'm honest. Whereas I thought Fleetwood would do quite well this season.
Yeah, I think I had them around 10th, and I was really excited about their business back in the summer. We mentioned they lost the lads Wirradu, didn't they, to the League One Plymouth, I think it was. But apart from that, I thought they'd had a really solid summer. But is it a case that they've maybe bought too many in similar positions? Like, everyone got very excited about Ched Evans coming in and James Norwood, but they'd already bought Will Davis, and it seems he's almost been shoehorned out a little bit and that type of thing. But yeah, I've got a question for you, mate, and hopefully people are answering the chat as well. Biggest disappointment so far this season? I've got 3 options, Fleetwood being one, MK Dons or Colchester. Who would you say has been the biggest letdown so far this season? I know the obvious one's MK because of the budget, but I had Col U to be challenging for the playoffs, and I had Fleetwood certainly in the top 10. Fleetwood are down in 15th at the moment, Colchester 20th, and MK Dons 14th, so they're all bottom half. So yeah, Lee's going to have a little muse over that one. And if you can get your comments in and answers to that question, who has been the most disappointing out of them 3 so far?
For me, do you want my answer now?
Go for it, mate, if you've got one ready.
Colchester.
Yeah, I think I'd have to play them as well.
Yeah, I had, if I were to do my prediction, I had them up, I think, 8th on my list. So I had in and around the playoffs, but just missing out. But I think it's a matter of time. How long do they get? Didn't do so well last season. After an hopeful pre-season, I think a lot of fans expected a decent season last season. Didn't come. I remember getting quite a little bit of slaver for where I put them in the league table, and I was sort of proved right. I just didn't see it. This season, I did see them picking up. So, yeah, for me, Colchester. I think MK are the easy target. But, yeah, Colchester, 100% for me.
I think the only thing that swings me towards Colchester rather than MK, and we know that MK will be under pressure for the reasons we've said for about 3 or 4 weeks on the bounce now. But for Colchester, it felt like they didn't need as much to make the next step. What did they finish last season? 10th. They missed out by about 4 points on the playoffs, drew too many games at the end of the season. It felt like they probably only needed to tweak rather than change, whereas MK, in their defence, have brought in a lot of new players, haven't they? There's, they've got Hepburn, Murphy, Mendes, Lang. It's 2 new wingers. They brought in Patterson. Collins has been injured. I think they brought in 2 right backs. They're both injured longish term. Their first choice left back, Tomlinson's injured. So there are extenuated circumstances for MK Dons, and that's not an excuse. But for me, it felt like Colchester was an easier one to progress from where they were to where we thought they'd be. Whereas MK Dons, we have to remember, finished 19th last season. So for everyone to back them top was a huge jump. I'm not saying that they've not been disappointing, but that's why I'd go for Colchester United.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, this is it the second season now at the club?
Second season back in, I think,
Yeah, whereas obviously Warren's first season, so yeah, it's going to take time, but we've just said that MK, I think there's only so much time that you can give them. But yeah, I agree. Colchester, I did have high expectation. I think last season they started really badly as well. So had they not had that bad start, maybe they'd have been in and around the playoffs. But yeah, Colchester for me. Like I say, I don't know how long they get now. I really don't, because I think
if you've
that
got any Colu fans in the chat, let us know your thoughts.
I think even the owners are probably expecting to start better, and they want a positive season this season.
Yeah, they certainly shouldn't be down there. No disrespect to the teams that they're in around, but like Cheltenham, Shrewsbury, Newport, Barrow, Accrington, you'd think that their squad is considerably better than them teams. So to be down that end is massively underwhelming. Cool, yeah, they've only won one game. They've only lost 3. So again, it's the same problem, drawing too many football matches at the moment.
Yeah, who was the win against? Was it?
Let's have a quick look. The win came against Shrewsbury, who had a man sent off. So yeah, it's not too positive reading. Yeah, they need to turn that around fairly quickly, I'd say. 44 in the chat. Come on, 6 more. We can get to 50. That'd be brilliant. And then I'll start pestering you to get to 60. OFC Callum's back in, says Michael Mellon, top scorer incoming. I think you'll have to do well because there's a lot of players that have got 6 or 7 already, and but Bradley Dack's getting it anyway. So
I've just noticed on his picture. I'm sure that's a picture of me.
So it is. Look at that. Oh my word. Here it's everywhere.
Love that, Callum.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I just clocked him. I'm sure that's me. That is at York last season.
That's when you know you've made it. You're on so much YouTube profile. Aaron, the Grimsby fan, says, has Neil Harris been sent to prison yet for punching KB? I know the FA have charged him. I don't know, mate, is the genuine answer. I did hear there was a bit of shenanigans in the tunnel after that game last week, and there were rumours, what's the saying? You can take the boy out of Millwall, but you can't take Millwall out of the boy. Hutch is back. Says Lee is correct about players putting themselves on the line for the team when called to play at League 2 level. Gills have a history of Hessenthaler, Smith, Weatherly, Dean White, Steve Bruce yet, and we've got people that are doing similar at the moment. Not saying they're on the same levels as them players that we've had in the past, but yeah, it's definitely a division where you have to roll your sleeves up more than you can pass teams off the park, so to speak. Andy says MK Dons for biggest disappointment, and goes on to say he remembers some saying they would not lose a game.
That's just a silly comment. That
if they were saying that, then they're asking to get bitten on the arse, aren't they? 47, come on, 3 to go. Don't forget to keep pressing the like button. Callum now says my biggest disappointment is Shrewsbury. So I had them struggling. I think they're thereabouts where they should be. So
yeah,
I just think again, I think the manager and the squad don't align. They're not very good. I think we had quite a chat about them last week, didn't we, in terms of how they're set up? Lack of pace in key areas, lack of experience in key areas.
Yeah, and just trying to play players just for the sake of playing them instead of playing players where they should be in the right positions.
Absolutely. Greg the Fish says, with the amount of money, it has to be MK. They threw around at start of the season, it has to be them. Can't spend that much and be doing this poorly. Yeah, that's a very fair comment. It's one that we've mentioned. Aaron goes along the same idea. MK Dons with the money they spent. Daz Snowman says Fleetwood, interestingly. That's the first pick for them.
Fair show.
Lucas says MK and he supports them. Dom says MK. Colchester never came as across as a team to be up there. We all see it differently, don't we? But I thought I had them certainly in the challenging for. I think I had them 5th.
Recruited as well, aren't they, Colchester? So
yeah, signed some. I think they got Tucker back in on a permanent, didn't they? I mean, he's probably been their standout player in terms of defensively and scoring goals as well. I'm trying to just have a quick look at their squad while we've got the lad Kyrie's Lisbian, who was meant. I don't know if he signed in the summer or in January, but they was expecting him to kick on. To be fair, he's had a decent start. Yeah, they've just got good players that you'd think. And if you look at their squad on paper, it looks a decent mix. They've got one of the best keepers in the league in Matt Macy. If you look at clean sheets last season, they look defensively solid enough. Rob Hunt came in from Orient. Kane Vincent-Young if you keep him fit, but that's a big if, unfortunately, with him now. But yeah, put it this way, it doesn't look like a squad that should be 20th with one win after nearly 2 months, does it?
No, 100%. Football aside, but can I just ask Greg the Fish why it's called Greg the Fish? He's like a lock,
I'm glad you asked because I didn't want to.
It's like a lock, stock and film name, isn't it? London Gangster. Oh, Greg the Fish.
We'll have Bricktop in a minute as well. Luca asks, am I going to MK? Yes, I am going to MK this season. I don't know if Lee is. Obviously, he's a more random games. And here you go, mate. Pick is from York away playoff semi-final. Saw you near a programme area and I got a pick with you before you ran off. You can't run away from fans, mate. How rude is that? Right, don't vote for him. Cut it. It's all gone. Ruin. No, I'm joking. Vote for him. Oh, here we go. They're all doing it.
Hey, go on then, Tom.
I'll change this to the Lee 2 hour, I think. Blimey, O'Reilly. Come on, people, show me some love. Who's got a picture of me? No, don't answer that. Jake Hessenthaler was a good player when he played for Grimms. But yeah, I was surprised when he left Gills, Aaron, to be fair. He's, I know he's still knocking around locally, playing for Ebbsfleet, I think, in National League South now. But yeah, obviously had the unfortunate association with having to play under the same surname as a very, very famous dad within Gillingham circles.
We need one for 50.
We do. Come on, one more. Gary says teams aren't made on egos, and MCO Dons seem to think they can turn up and beat teams. Hard work has to be matched with talent. I mean, yeah, I've not watched every game, but yeah, I think there's a case for that at the moment. Andy Burns has gone left field and says, Crew, what has happened to them? That's not a bad shout, to be fair. Won their first 4 games, no winning 5, dropped to 12th. Yeah, that's one that's to keep an eye on, certainly. And we've spoken about Lee Bell already, and maybe a lack of plan B. And how quick he maybe might end up under pressure after, because we said we compared them to Walsall, didn't we? Said they was like a year in front of Walsall, and if they struggle, Matt Sadler might be under the same sort of pressure.
Yeah, and I think a few, we've just touched on Colchester, I think a few, they maybe kept them on this season just to see how things tick along, but it's that you have to pull the trigger sometimes because you sort of lose touch with where you want to be as a club. And I definitely think Crew have got aspirations to be a League One side. He's another one. It's a case of keeping an eye on it.
50.
Hey.
I noticed it went from 49 to 47 after I said, has anyone got a picture of me? I won't put any pictures of me in the chat, I promise. It's 51. There we go. It's working.
Someone's got a picture
just turn my camera off. 100. Come on, someone commented, so I got a face for radio. Oh, I can take it. It's all about the views. Yes, on that vein. Oh, here we go, mate. Your potential lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels reference. You ready?
Yeah, well.
You're going to be really disappointed, mate, I'm afraid. Yeah, the fish called Greg.
When you said that, I just thought he's been in the film. He's someone famous or something. But yeah, that's.
No. He says once, like it says once, which is like it's past tense. So I think there might be a sad ending for Greg, unfortunately, as well.
Poor Greg. I hope he didn't get flushed down the bloody toilet.
That the Greg. Talk everything on this show, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
A bit of goldfish chat. Just pictures of Lee just popping up everywhere. Right, Callum says, I also saw it on National League. All right, mate, stop going on about it. Blimey, his head won't fit in the spring. You snuck into our box. I hope he means hospitality. You're not just run on the pitch.
Press pass.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Press pass. Sid says, Sid always thinking of the important things. We need Crew to go up and chippy outside. Love that. Always thinking about the scran. Good man, Sid. That's why we get you in the chat for your in-depth analysis of chip shops around the north of England. Absolutely superb.
Sid, give me a rating. What's his rating?
Talking of food, need to go and have a pie at Newport. Oh,
good, are they? What did you have? What did you have?
I actually went for the veggie one, and honestly, mate, it was like slow cooked casserole veg in gravy. It was unbelievable, so good. And Ava had the bacon cheeseburger, and that was proper decent and all. So get yourself to Newport, have a pie.
Yeah, I'll have to sample that.
Here we go. Sorry, Hutch just said Matt's face for radio is cancelled out by lovely Ava. Oh, bless you, mate. I'll let her know that she's got a compliment.
Yeah.
Dom says belting Chippy at Crew. Gary's all aboard the scram bus. Said who's got the best food? Andy, sorry, was all aboard it as well and said well said. Who's got the best? It's Harrogate for me, hands down.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm doing it on
League,
joke. Yeah, if I'm doing it on League 2, it's Harrogate for me. That the pies are just outrageous.
Full Monty, they do the full Monty, don't they, for about $10.95, which is pie, mash, mushy peas, and mint gravy. Oh, I'm hungry now.
I controversial one here, right? They cut it in half for you. Are you a fan, or would you rather not be cut in half? Not a fan, if I'm honest.
If what? Sorry.
So the pie's cut in half for you, isn't it? Do you know the actual pie?
What, Harrogate?
Yeah. They cut it in half.
See, that's you because you're big time. Mine weren't.
No, this is what I'm saying. I didn't like it. I'm like, why are you cutting my pie up? Let me.
Oh, no, mine weren't cut up. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Don't know then. Unless you thought.
Anyway, next up on Celebrity MasterChef.
She must have thought I wasn't capable of cutting my own pie.
It's good at vlogging, but you can't use a knife. You go this year, they give you a little plastic bib and everything, so gravy.
Camera in one hand and just
exactly. Yeah.
It up then.
Gravy all around your gob. Dom says best pie I've had was Dundee United. I'm not going Dundee United, however good their pies are. I have to travel far enough for normal games. You won't be able to have a pie next season because I believe Gillingham are going out. See, I like Aaron. Aaron knows what he's talking about. We need Aaron in the chat. Gills need to up their food game at Priestfield. Yes, a little bit. I think there needs to be more options. They have started. I think they've introduced burgers and hot dogs now, which I know sounds ridiculous because it's a staple of any football crowd. But I was disappointed when they went to pucker pies, but they're all right, pucker pies. But I prefer a homemade one, like a locally sourced one. Oh, here we go. This is why, Lee, they cut pies for people they think can't be trusted with sharp objects. He's murdered New York on a Friday night with a plastic knife, mate. I see you've heard the same as well. Kidderminster Harriers. Cool, we've gone right off on a tangent here. Right, 54 in the chat as soon as we stop talking about football. So, right, pie. Oh,
Question for you. Seeing as the last 10 minutes, what's your best pie filling? After we'll touch on that in the last 5 minutes.
Do that at the end. So we'll do that at the end. After the league table, we'll have 5 minutes of best pie filling. I need another notepad for tonight. Not for the football chat. I've just locked all the football notes in the bin. Right, my second feature game of the week. No surprises here, considering we broke a club record that had stood for about 50 years. Is Newport County 1, Gillingham 3. Yeah, weren't an ideal start for the Gills. I hadn't even sat down when Nathaniel Apoku headed the home side in front after all of 26 seconds. I then had a row with a steward, so that cheered me up a little bit more. I want to ask you, we're going off on a tangent again. So everyone in front of us was stood up.
What did he say? I cut your pie in half.
No, it's worse than that. Honestly, I had a proper rage on after a minute. And if we had one, I think his face would be on X by now because I was absolutely fuming. So everybody in front of us has stood up. A Gillingham fan said, well, stand up. And I tried to make the point that, well, Ava stands up and you as an adult stands up. She still can't see. Steward walked past and I shouted at him, can you please ask these people to sit down? No, mate, they're your fans. That's what he said and laughed at me and walked off.
Is that what he said? Oh, God.
So, yeah. So there was a bit of toing and froing between myself and a couple of other fans asking him to do his job properly. And I may have asked him what his stewarding entailed. And he just stood there doing lunges and then called his supervisor over. But we won 3-1. So.
Not bothered. I hope you got the lunges on film.
I've got him on camera. I took a photo of him. But anyway, yes. So we were 1-0 down. I had a rage on because I'd fallen out of a steward. And then we gave a penalty away, which helped I moved even further. But luckily, Glenn Morris saved Cameron Antwi's spot kick, and then he managed to put the rebound wide. And I said to Ava at that point, we're going to win this.
Yeah.
You just felt that that was the moment that changed everything. And so it proved. Bradley Dack, after about 25 minutes, I think it was, ball fell to him, edge of the box. I said, you don't want anyone else but Dacky running onto that. Side-footed it into the bottom corner. 5 minutes later, or whatever it was, Johnny Smith. And I've told this story about 10 times since the weekend. There was a Wigan fan that messaged me on X the night we signed him and said, Gills fans will love Johnny Smith. Got no right foot, plays off the right, will step inside and smash it in the top corner with his left foot. Like, literally, that's what happened. Unbelievable goal. I did swear on camera, which I make no apologies for. And then we got a penalty. Luckily, we scored ours. And the second half was boring, which was quite fine for us Gills fans. So, yes, 21 games without defeat. Just really enjoy being a football fan of this club at the moment, which is great to see. Great to see people like Bradley Dack having an impact, because we didn't get the best out of him last season for one reason or another. But, yeah, only 9 games in. But it's starting to feel like something might be in the offing. I don't know how many other Gills fans think that.
What's the feeling? Obviously, you go to every game. What's the feeling within the fan base? Obviously, at games, you grasp it more at games. Obviously, is the little bit of optimism or excitement, or a bit of worry that things can gut it up, that like last season.
And the season before, and the season before.
Yeah.
I think the first sort of half a dozen games, it was, yes, it's good, but we've been here before. And I think there's still a little bit of that, because in the last 2 away games, we've started horrendously. You look at Bromley, we were 2-0 down inside 12 minutes. Saturday, we're down 1-0 in 30 seconds. We can't keep starting like that away, because eventually we won't get away with it. But the more this run goes on, and the more we keep finding a way, and the more we keep seeing people that were injured last season having an impact, like Dacky and Josh Andrews, and the fact that we've got Gareth McCleary to come back in this week after a 2-game ban, there's a lot of people that are now whispering, like, this sounds like the beginning of something quite special. So I'm keeping everything crossed. I'm still trying to not get too ahead of myself, but I've had 100 quid on us to win the league by Christmas. Who said that? No.
I think the key is, it's like confidence. It's massive, and you get Dacky. He's had a terrible few years with injuries. Andrews, he's had his injuries. They're all getting that confidence with scoring goals and obviously winning mentality. You just carry on a wave, don't you? And I think that's what's going to be key this season. I think what will, because it'll happen that you'll get beat. It'll be amazing that you didn't get beat all season, but it's how you then reset and go again will be key for Gillingham, I think.
That's it, and that's been the issue the last couple of seasons. Started well, and then one defeat suddenly turns into 2 or 3, and then 2 or 3 turns into 2 months without a win.
Yeah.
We had 2 spells last season where I think it was like 1 win in 12 and then no win in 12s or 13 at the start of this year. So that can't happen if you want to be a good side. But if you look at the goals we're scoring, the amount of people that are scoring goals, and you go back to Dacky and Josh Andrews, but even about their ability, but just the fact that they trust their bodies now to get through 75, 80, 85 minutes on a regular basis. 60 in the chat. That's
it's amazing.
So, yeah, thank you to everyone. Please keep smashing the like button. Come on, let's start trying to get towards 65. Oldham has a great selection of food. We're back to the food chat. Better than the last time we was in League 2. What did I have at Oldham?
I promised you the chicken outside, but they'd done away with it, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, that shut down, yeah. I think I ate beforehand, actually. I got told the food wasn't great at Oldham by some other Oldham fans, so never mind. Maybe I'll try again next time I'm there. We'll have to both get promoted, and then we can enjoy it. I was just about to say, yeah. Lee likes Bradford's burgers. No. Is that a euphemism?
It definitely is, yeah. Horrendous.
Are they that bad?
Yeah.
Like roadkill in a bun?
Yeah. They probably cooked about 3 months prior to match day, but Yeah, and that's to put it.
100%,
That's to put it
100% pure
nicely.
fox.
But you find
Gareth,
yourself always buying them.
it's because it's at football and you think you've got to eat. Adam Savage says Gareth Ainsworth's Invincibles. Cool, that's got a ring to it, hasn't it? I like that. I'm not getting ahead of myself.
I can see a T-shirt being made.
Just remember an electric guitar. Like that. Matt being angry would make amazing content. It doesn't happen too often, I promise you. But yeah, like this bloke really got on my nerves. I'm not going to lie. Like poor old Ava, if I weren't vlogging, she wouldn't have seen anything. I had to keep showing her the goals on my camera, like on my phone, after I've recorded it for the vlog.
I remember. Do you remember the guy at Morecambe? He was moaning, wasn't he? Last season.
Oh yeah, it was season before. That was that last season or season before last, wasn't it? Yeah. That was 2 seasons ago, yeah.
It all blends into one, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
But yeah.
Funny old world.
Yeah.
Back to the footy, looking forward to the pie hour next week. I'm up for that, mate. Absolutely. Yeah. That's a little spin-off show. We'll get that going. That'll be on YouTube too. That would be good. Andy Burns says, loved your banter with the steward. Did I question his parentage? I did not question his parentage. And it wasn't banter, it was a full-on row because I had the raging ump on at that time. Gary Marskoff says, what a muppet, 3-1 will do all the talking. Absolutely. Spam the like button. Liam's in the chat, late comer, another yellow card. We are writing these down. Hello, Matt and Lee. How are you? Really well, mate. Thank you very much for joining. At what point did you, when obviously they got the penalty, because obviously you know your record at Newport, did you thought, oh my God? That's at the point I was going to go and find the steward's manager and just go full on, like, full Happy Gilmore. But yeah, then Glenn saved it and suddenly all was well with the world again. Yeah. Dom said, did say on deadline day that Smith was a good signing, would have liked it back at Oldham. Hands off, mate. You keep Tom pet. David Tyler is in the chat. Evening, David. He says, Matt, you're spot on. There is something in the offing. There is certainly a different feel this season, says Andy. There is a real togetherness. That's not hearing it from the players or staff, but witnessing it. That's it, yeah. And like Lee said, you get a feel for it in the ground, and that's from talking to fans that go every week or to a lot of games, and from actually, you know, the eye test, which is what we're seeing at the moment. Dennis Millam says, yes, the Gills are playing for each other. And Craig backs that up by saying it feels different to previous seasons. Right, Lee. Top 3 goals. Shall we have a look at them? Yeah. Have we done the scores? Oh, Jesus, we're well behind schedule, aren't we? Yeah, sorry, yeah. God, it's all this pie chat. It's going to be another late one. Strap in for some injury time, guys and girls. Right. Harrogate 2, Shrewsbury Town 0. Goals by Jack Muldoon on 65 minutes and Conor McElhaney on 87. Sealed the points in a really big game down at the bottom. Barnet absolutely blew Grimsby Town away by 3-0. Namdi Offerbor with 2 goals and Lee Undlov in consecutive games sealed the points for the Bees in emphatic fashion. Barrow picked up a good 1-0 win against Crewe Alexander thanks to Isaac Fletcher's goal on 58 minutes. Bromley and Chesterfield played an entertaining 2-2 draw. Goals from Michael Cheek and a Che Dunkley own goal for the Ravens were cancelled out by strikes from Armando Dobra and Liam Mandeville for the Spyrites. Colchester 1, Bristol Rovers 1. Goals for Mika and Bick and Fabrizio Cavegna. He's starting to make a name for himself, the Swiss lad. Yeah. MK Dons 1, Accrington Stanley 2. Not a good day for the Dons. Alex Gilby's goal on 48 minutes levelled it up after Isaac Sinclair's early strike. But Charlie Caton won it for the Stanley on 73 minutes, and then Luke Offord was sent off at injury time to cap a disappointing afternoon for Paul Warren's men. Notts County thumped Crawley Town to the tune of 4-0. Goals from Scott Robertson, Tyrese Hall at the double, and Alassana Jatta. That was a good win for them because no Matt Dennis this week. He was injured after pulling up lame in our game last weekend. And Walsall 4, Tranmere Rovers 2 was another contender for Game of the Week, but didn't quite make it in. Evan Weir doesn't do tap-ins. Twice in the game, 9 and 45 minutes. Daniel Carnu and Albert Adoma, best celebration of the week. We'll get that in straight away. Yeah, were the goal scorers for the Saddlers, and it was Joe Ironside and Billy Blacker, I think, who replied for Tranmere. But they went down, like I say, by 2 goals in 6. Right. back on track. Top 3 goals, Lee. Take 2. Go.
Let's go. 2 seconds. I should have been prepared for this. Top 3 goals. Sorry, mate. He's not going to win it, but Johnny Smith.
He didn't win mine in the end, to be fair. I went really early when I texted you Saturday night.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. Now, Johnny Smith, he's got to be in there. It's a cracking effort. Obviously, second goal and put Gills well on course. So a record-breaking victory. The second goal, George Grant, Salford. Cracking effort. We touched on it on your game. Absolute stunning finish. And then Walsall's George, what's his name? Weir, sorry. I don't know why I've just said George Weir because I've got it on the notes. Weir, with his free kick, the free kick, loved it. But yeah, his second one could have been in there. And for me, he's won my player of the week as well.
Go on and crack on. We'll go straight through into that with yours and then we'll look at mine.
3 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals, 2 key passes, 7 clearances, and 2 interceptions. Easily winner for me.
Fair enough. We had the same top 3 in terms of players. 3rd place, Evan Weir, but I went for his second goal.
Second,
and the reason I left his free kick out is because, and I'm not saying it's an easy task to score a free kick, but you're set, the ball's not moving. I thought that finish for his second goal was absolutely ridiculous. Ball falls to him, and he just runs onto it full tilt, half volley. I don't think it gets more than about 3 inches off the floor from the moment it leaves his foot to the moment it hits the back of the net. I thought that was a stunning hit. Second was Gills Johnny Smith. We've already spoken about that fabulous goal. After being played in by Romeo Hutton, put us on top in that game. And my winner had to be George Grant for the first touch, the technique, the fact that it was blowing an absolute gale at the game as well. Maybe that helped him. But yeah, I thought that was absolutely brilliant from the control to the finish. Absolute rocket over Ripley and into the goal. And that's my top 3. And then there were honourable mentions to Evan Weir for his first one, Jack Muldoon's chest and lob for Harrogate. Off a ball for Barnett scored a really good goal. Cavenya's it was a decent one into the roof of the net at the near post. Scott Robinson scored a good goal from the edge of the box. Yeah, it was a good week for picking top 3, but it didn't make it easy, did it?
The week before, I think, was quite tough because there weren't many standout
spectacular goals.
Yeah.
Whereas this week, there was just hundreds of the bloody things.
Yeah. I think
my player of the week as well was Namdi Offerbor, if I've pronounced that right, for Barnet. I thought he was outstanding in their 3-0 win against Grimsby Town. Did both sides of the game really well. Looks like a proper box-to-box midfielder rather than just being labelled one or the other. They need him to do that if they want to continually pick up points and move into the top half, which they're just outside of on the moment. But yeah, played 90 minutes, 2 goals, 48 touches, 69% pass completion, 2 key passes, 3 interception and a shot blocked as well, means that he's my player of the week. Right, let's do a couple more comments and then we shall have a look. I do apologise, we're going to leave the food comments alone there because we do want to talk about the football a little bit more. Aaron says, if Gills do go invincible, you deserve to go up 2 leagues, never mind 1. I'll take just getting promoted any old which way, mate, to be honest. Lucas says, great show. Cheers, mate. Thanks for being in the chat. Liam says, nice haircut. Thank you, mate. It was like this last week as well. I think, was it? I can't remember when I got my haircut. I can barely remember what I did this morning. Steak and kidney, says Gary. Oh, yes, we forgot about that question. Pie fillings. That's a good one. Thank you for not talking about the Grimsby game in detail. No problem. How did Notts County beat Crewe after their showing against us last weekend, says Andy. Maybe to do with Crawley's inconsistent nature as much as them. 45 RPM says, as much as I want to be biased with Smith's goal for Gills, it had to be George Grant with a peach. Next week, Pies in the Blood. Love it.
That's a good name.
Sounds like one step away from heart surgery, unfortunately.
Just you sat there.
You in the chat, which is brilliant. Oh, yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it, actually? I like that. Just all lined up. Right, come on in. Let's have these favourite pie fillings quickly. We'll see some. But while you're all picking your best pie filling, let's have a look at this. Look at that. In all that
Oh,
CFAX retro beauty as well. If you've
and
not seen
yeah,
on X, go and download this. It's called Football Telescore on the App Store. You can get it on Android and iPhone, I think. You'll just
yeah.
have loads and loads of fun with it. It's so, so good. Thank you to Lee for letting me know.
Yeah, it's funny
Right.
because someone shared it and I thought, what a cracking idea for an app. And I've been speaking to the guy that's actually done it, so I've been sharing it like mad because I think it's a fantastic app, and it just takes you back, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I remember the days like when you'd be waiting and there'd be too many goals scored and you'd have to wait for the second page for your team, or you was all crowded
Yeah.
round outside like Dixon's if you was out with your mum and dad in the 90s waiting for the scores to come up
Yeah.
in like the beating hard of rain, just waiting for your team to show up.
I just remember my dad looking at for transfer news, because obviously Wednesdays were in the Premier League when that were in its heyday, and just looking at transfer news, it was just, it was fantastic.
Remember Club Call as well? It's about £3 a minute, wasn't it?
God, yeah.
just for them to tell you that a deal had fallen through.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a look at the table. Anyway, bottom two currently at the moment at Cheltenham Town on 6 points. No, that's 4 points. My eyesight's terrible. And Shrewsbury on 5. They make up the bottom two. And then going up from there, you've got Newport, Crawley, Colchester, Barrow and Accrington, who move up to 18th after another win at the weekend. Tranmere slumped to 17th, but have got a game in hand. Harrogate stopped the rot to move up to 16th. Fleetwood and MK Dons, we've already mentioned them being disappointing in 15th and 14th respectively. And it's Barnet who top the bottom half at the moment. And if you move into the top 12, we've got Crewe Alexander on 13 points, but going the wrong way. Then you've got Oldham on the up. Bristol Rovers picked up a good point on the road. Cambridge up to 9th. Bromley still just sit just outside the playoffs. Only one defeat for them, but too many draws at the moment. And the playoffs are made up of Notts County, Grimsby, Chesterfield and Swindon. And then it's Walsall and Salford City in the top three. And I'll let Lee say who's top of the league.
The mighty Gills.
No, you got it wrong. The mighty, history-making, record-breaking Gills.
Yeah.
Come on. Playing football.
You asked the question about the biggest the team that's underachieving.
Biggest disappointment, yep.
Yeah. Who's the team that you think's overachieving? Which is tough for me because I'm looking at this league thinking.
For me, based on my predictions at the start of the season, Walsall and Notts County.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Notts County where everyone's
Well, I had them 18th and I had Walsall around about 15th, 16th. I think I thought there was going to be a drop off for both of them. So yeah, in terms of where I had them,
I'd probably say Salford.
Yeah, they're going really. Oh yeah, that's a good shout as well. I had them. Yeah, 11th. So yeah, so there are some teams that are going really well.
I think with Salford, I think they were one of that sort of team that no one knew quite where to place them. I've seen some that obviously you've said you've placed them 11th. I think some had them higher, and I've seen a few. So I think a few were a bit, but I think to sit second, I think for me, yeah, I'd say Salford.
Yeah, it's a good shout. There's a few, isn't there? So, and it'll change rapidly at the moment. We're still at that stage of the season where a couple of wins can propel you up the table, and a couple of defeats will see you plummet a few places. Right. Anyway, let's get rid of that nonsense, and we'll get back before we blow full time to the proper stuff. Dom says you can't beat a good old chicken balti pie. Yes, I've had a couple of chicken balti pies this season at various places. Have been decent. Aaron says, imagine winning 4 out of 9 and still be in the playoff places. I think the standard this season is not as good as the last 2 seasons. Is it that the standard's not as good, and there is a case for that, Lee, or is it the fact that it's more open and more teams can beat more other teams now that there's not like a Wrexham or a Bradford or a Stockport that we've had for the last few seasons?
Yeah, I think it's just more open. You look at some teams have started well and then they've tailed off. Yeah, I think it's a wide open division. Like you say, we've just looked at the league table. I think if you put a little run together, you can be back in the mix.
That's it, absolutely. And I think it'll continue to be like that. I think the team that does well will be the one that can grind out the most results and pick up a lot of ugly points, so to speak, when they're not playing well. Troy Chapman says Steakenale. Yep, that's always a good, solid choice. Daz agrees on the app, says it's a brilliant app. Cheese and Leek for Sid. Gone left field with that one, mate. I like it. DFT Lewis is back, says, thanks for all the content, Matt. Can't get to all the games as I live in Milton Keynes, and not sorry to hear that, mate. Not about you can't get to the games, the fact that you live in Milton Keynes. Not Gillingham, but feel connected to the club through you. Appreciate that. It's brilliant, mate. Thank you so much, because that's half the reason I set it up, for people that can't get to games, to try and bring the action into the living rooms and that type of thing. And this type of chat is brilliant as well now.
Sorry, that's tickled me, that. That's straight face you are. Oh, sorry.
Feels great to say Gills' name last when going for it. It's better to be said last than be last, isn't it, mate? Aaron says Bromley as overachievers. Yeah, maybe on. That's not a bad shout. There were concerns about a little drop off for them. Dom's come up with a left field one. Says not a pie, but a staple Oldham dish is called rag pudding. Steak suet. It is outstanding. Don't get it too far out of Oldham. All right, so it's just one of them lovely stories, just boasting what you can get and not the rest of the country. Cheers, mate. It's like Del Boy and Rodney when Rodney tells everyone about his mate and his mineral water.
Yeah.
Yep, he agrees with me, mate, about living in Milton Keynes. I mean, if you like roundabouts, then it's probably the place to be, isn't it? So
yeah,
there's not much else. I think the most fun you can have is probably the retail park outside the football ground, if you like a Nando's and a McDonald's and a KFC and that type of thing. And there's always a seat available at Stadium MK. Let's put it that way. I'm joking, MK Dons fans.
Sorry, Jonathan, mate.
Yeah, lovely, Jonathan. You've not been in the chat tonight, so it's your own fault.
You guarantee he'll be watching this, because I bet he's at work.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a WhatsApp message in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll be in the away end in a couple of weeks' time. Can't wait. Come and say hello, mate. I'll be there. Be looking forward to see you. Right. I don't think there's any other businesses this week.
No. Covered all bases, pies, history makers, and
Rouse with stewards.
Even fish.
And the benefits of living in. Oh, yeah. Greg the Fish. I forgot about Greg the Fish. What a show it's been. It's just been outrageous. I don't know what's happened in half of the show. I can't remember any of the fucking chat, but I know about Greg the Fish. I know what rag pudding is.
Exactly. If people are not sharing this to the pals, that we're covering all bases, roundabouts, fish, we've got it all on it.
It's all done. Fantastic show, says Troy. Yep, his standards are as low as ours. Going to support everyone. We really appreciate it. Right, we've got a couple more comments coming in, and then we really should blow full time. What we got here? I really need to invest. Absolutely, mate. If I see you, I'll come and say hello. Yeah, come over and we'll get you on the vlog if possible. Daz says cheers. But yes, been another brilliant week. Lots of goals, lots of screamers, couple of surprise results. But yeah, the main thing is, like I say, the big news for me is Lee being nominated for them. So we'll try and put the stuff down in the description. If not, head over to Lee's socials. He's put out where you can go and vote for him. So please go and do it, because it's thoroughly deserved. He's going to have a great night, and he's just round the corner as well, isn't it, for you?
Yeah,
basically walk to Oldham Road.
I know. We've booked a hotel, but it's just nice because I think first one we're in Liverpool, second one we're Tottenham Stadium, which I can't complain. It's great to go and visit these places for a night out. But it's bliss. But yeah, if anyone could drop a vote, it'd be much appreciated. And I apologise now, because I'm just going to be plugging it constantly. But you've got to.
Absolutely, you've got to there, mate. You've got to. Daz says I'll get my mate Dave the Donkey on next week. I look forward to that. Maybe Dave the Donkey and Greg the Fish can have a chat. Right. I think at that point we need to blow time. No. So, as always, he's been Lee. I've been Matt. This has been the League 2 Hour. We will see you next Monday.